Once upon a time, nestled by a gentle, winding river, there was a small, peaceful village. In this village lived an old man, beloved by all. He was known not only for his kindness and wisdom, but also for the ever-present smile that seemed to light up his face. Whenever villagers faced troubles or simply needed a comforting word, they would come to sit with him, drawn by the quiet assurance in his eyes and the warmth of his laughter. No matter how difficult life became, the old man remained optimistic, inspiring admiration and curiosity among all who knew him. With you, a story from my own life, so you may understand. The old man's eyes twinkled kindly as he invited the young man to sit beside him on the porch, where a small wooden table held a pot of steaming tea. "My boy," he began, "happiness does not come from what happens around us. It comes from within our own hearts. Let me share. When I was young," the old man continued, his voice soft and steady, "my family was my world. I had a loving wife and 3 little children. We did not have much, but our home was always filled with laughter. Then misfortune struck. My beloved wife fell gravely ill. I did everything I could, searched far and wide for the means to buy medicine, but in the end her illness took her from us. It was the darkest period of my life. I felt as though my world had collapsed, and I thought I might never find joy again." The young man listened intently, feeling the depth of sorrow in the old man's words. The old man paused, sipping his tea before he went on. "After many days lost in grief, I realized that mourning could not bring my wife back. My children still needed a strong father, and I had to find a way to go on. So I began to change how I looked at life. I learned to cherish the small things, the smiles of my children, the golden light of the morning, or the song of birds in our garden. Slowly I understood that life would always have both sunshine and rain, but I could choose how to face each day." The young man still looked uncertain. "But sir," he asked, "how can you stay happy when truly bad things happen? I don't understand how to do that." The old man smiled gently and placed a reassuring hand on the young man's shoulder. "Each morning I remind myself, today is a new day and I will find something to be grateful for. Some days it's a delicious breakfast. Other days it's the laughter of a friend. No matter how small, there's always something worth smiling about. When misfortunes come, I tell myself that nothing lasts forever, not even pain. I choose to focus on the good, however small, instead of letting sadness take over." Still the young man pressed on. "But if you lose someone you love or face great failure, how do you keep hope alive?" The old man's gaze grew distant, reflecting the hardships he had endured. "It is not always easy," he admitted. "There are days when my heart feels heavy. But I have learned to be patient with myself. I allow myself to feel sorrow, but I do not let it define my life. I think about what I still have, my health, my friends, even the simple gift of another breath. Happiness is a choice, my boy. You can dwell in the shadows or search for the light even on the darkest days." Inspired, the young man decided to follow the old man's advice. Each day he looked for one small thing to appreciate: a quiet morning, a kind word from a stranger, the satisfaction of completing a simple task. In time he noticed his heart felt lighter. When challenges came, he smiled and told himself, "Everything will be all right." His story reminds us that happiness is not found in riches or grand events, but in the way we choose to face each day. With gratitude and resilience, we too can find light even in the darkest times. Soon the story of the old man spread throughout the village. People began to shift their perspective. A farmer learned to be grateful for his harvest, even if it was less than he hoped. A young woman found joy tending her garden. The village became a place of hope and happiness, all because of the wise old man.